Yeah, so far as Combs's lawyer offered a $50 million bail package using his mansion as collateral in exchange for releasing him to home detention with GPS monitoring. The courts alleged that he coerced and went after women for years while using blackmail, including videos that he shot while also flying solo. I feel as though it described the inducement of female victims and male workers into drugged up, elaborately producing acts, performances dubbed as freak-offs that Combs arranged very often. They also stated in court papers that they had interviewed more than 50 victims and witnesses and expected the numbers to grow. During the search, law enforcement seized narcotics, videos of said freak-offs, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. They also stated that agents also seized firearms and ammunitions, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers. So this is my thing, right? You can see all over the place that people are ecstatic. The big bad wolf, the boogeyman, is going to finally serve his time behind bars like a lot of people have always wanted. And then people are going to breathe a sigh of relief as if the streets or the industry is magically safe, right? But the problem is you had a person that you, in a sense, knew without it being open or really out there, of what it is that he was capable of and what it is that he was doing and has been doing for a very long time, right? So you had somebody, right? And usually when you have a king that is over an empire, nobody is going to try to go above or beyond that king. Nobody is going to try to take his throne, right? People are pretty much going to stay in line and stay in order because you got that apex predator directly out there and everybody fears that apex predator. Now that apex predator is gone, what do you now think is going to happen? If there is not one designated place where these things happen, what's going to take place now? If this, again, apex predator is taken out, what will all of the supposed followers or the minions then decide to do? Because remember, in every group, it doesn't even matter if it's a gang or not. You always have people that feel that they are better, stronger, or more powerful or smarter than the person that is up top. So now you're going to have fractures of fractures of fractures, right? So instead of it being in one area where people can literally watch, see, and know and potentially theorize, now it's going to be spread throughout the industry. Let me put it to a better extent, right? Think about back in the 80s and the 90s when you had the OGs in the streets, right? The incidences of, the shootings and things like that, they happened, but they weren't as bad or as frequent as what we see right now, right? And back then we still had technology, right? After the OGs who had a type of street code, right? Who had a type of rule directly about them, once they got locked up, that left the younger folks who idolized and looked up to them and wanted to grow up to be like them. They were there again without a type of father, right? Without a type of moral compass. I feel as though they should have, in a sense, left it in that place. And then all at one moment, when a party was being thrown, caught everybody. Because the moment in time that you just catch one person, again, everybody online and everybody else is gonna be like, yeah, we finally got them. They finally, it's the end of Diddy and it's the end of the rain. Now people can breathe. No, it's not. Because the thing that people don't understand is that he's just one part of the web, right? And if anybody knows how a web is created, you need a spider in order to create the silk, right? In order to design and stabilize and build the different parts of that web so that it'll do what it's supposed to do. You just knocked off just a little nice section, but the whole web still stands. And if the whole web still stands, that means that you still got interlocking, connecting parts, right? That means that there are more people that are designed into that web, more points that can go out various different angles and get in contact with a variety of different people, even if that one person, right, no matter how big they are, is removed directly from that web, even if that one section is what? Still removed from that web. A spider can still catch prey, correct? So the problem is the web is still standing. The web was never fully destroyed. And then on top of that, you did not take out or find out who is the creator of said web, who is the actual designer. So again, this is why I don't really get happy over stuff like this. This is why I don't breathe a sigh of relief, because there is never a sigh of relief. If you don't get the creator, the architect, then what are we doing? What are we doing? If you're not getting or hitting every designated point, every stable point in that web to destabilize that web so that it can no longer catch prey, what are we talking about? This is the exact same thing that I talked about when it dealt with people talking about R. Kelly. Um, yeah, you got R. Kelly, but again, nobody's talking about getting the AR, getting the record labels, getting the other artists that were associated with R. Kelly, getting the management, getting the other lawyers, getting the parents, getting the security. Like, there are so many different facets to that story, and people were just ecstatic, like, oh yeah, they finally sat up there and got R. Kelly. That was it. That was it. You're not worried about who was funneling any of those individuals directly there. You think that he was just going out there like on some Jerry Seinfeld type stuff and just visiting high schools and just doing this? Yo, a lot of these people, they get people dropped off to them. But like I said, people ain't really about nothing. They're just about that little bit of satisfaction, and that's it. And they just call it a day. They think that whatever type of justice is pretty much done once they feel like this component is, completely locked away. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is going to be a forever problem because nobody is actually ready to fix the problem. People are not actually ready to get their hands dirty and to face what it is that is the inevitable. That a lot of your favorite artists, a lot of your favorite stars or entertainers or basketball players, NFL players, a lot of them are a part of this group. A lot of them are a part of the party without actually going to a Diddy party. And nobody really wants to talk about that because people feel that whoever they love and whoever they like is pretty much safe and sound directly from this just because they've never seen them in pictures with said person. But just because you ain't never seen them in pictures don't mean that they don't got each other's numbers. Doesn't mean that they don't have conversations. Doesn't mean that they don't have meetups at other places. Don't mean that the associates or other celebrities know Diddy doesn't know your celebrity. Like I said before, everybody is linked. It's one big giant party. And like I said, if people were really about fixing the issue, then that means the music industry and also the movie or the whole entertainment industry as a whole would come collapsing down. But people ain't ready for that discussion though. So like I said, for those out there that are ecstatic and whatnot about this one thing happening, let me just clap it up for you. Let me just, because that's all you're gonna get. That's it. Because this ain't no real work. This ain't no real happenings. And again, like I said before, people forget that when they first did the raid, they walked off with a lot of electronic devices. You don't know if those agents are actual FBI agents or agents for somebody else. You don't know who's on whose payroll. So they could have just took the important information in front of everybody and then just destroyed it. And that's it. Like I said, when was the last time that they decided to drop those logs for all the celebrities that were on those planes? Like I said before, people, focus in on one thing and think that the work is done, and you ain't even really started none yet.